The manhwa begins with our hero talking about how many people are enjoying life these days, when everyone has to walk down the street covering their entire face with these masks. Say that he can't even breathe fresh air when he goes to work in the morning and breathe every day. I only feel my own breath. Wear or even not wear a mask, anyway. The weather is very suffocating. Yesterday feels like the day before yesterday, and tomorrow will be the same as today. Because every day is monotonous, and our hero no longer wants to live in this reality. And he no longer wants to live like this. Say that the joys of life that he dreams of will surely come true. The hero says that he is located far from the center of Seoul. He works in a company without big market ambitions, which guarantees employees an easy retirement, and inexperienced management brings all employees to the birthday of work without any incentive. The guy says that the joy of being an intern has long passed, and today he lives on the machine like a robot. Our hero seems to be receiving messages, and he thinks that this is a message asking him to install something. But suddenly he sees the company's application button and sees that this message has been sent to one person from each team. The hero refuses to download apps. They say that management probably wants to make him even more of a slave, and he says that he will finish what he started and go home. He again receives a notification on the phone already when he finished the shift, and the hero asks what is the problem, and do they really want to fire him from the company. But he receives a notification that he was the first to join the company's action and will be rewarded for it. Heroes understand what the message means was sent only to him and asks why no one installed this application. He opens the company's app and sees his height and weight as well as his skills in it. The hero asks how this is related to work, and suddenly he sees a complete database of employees and thinks about how such an intrusion is illegal and how the company even managed to do this. He has an alert that everyone who uses this application can increase or decrease the emotions of the interlocutor in accordance with the permission of the administrator, as well as a psychological message representing the emotions of the subjects in real time. And when the psychological state of someone's target is at the lowest level, the affected person will be warned. The hero asks what kind of joke is this, because in their time people do everything and even these strange Japanese-style character sets. The guy says that he is too tired to read useless texts, and if he presses here, his so-called resistance will increase. He pumps resistance and sees that some effects are happening around him, and he asks what wet his shoulders, because he feels less tired. The hero says that it is obvious that this is impossible, but the application receives a notification that the resistance has been increased by 1 unit, and that our hero has completed the introductory task, and a new mission has been added to him. The new mission was to use psychological messages to do this with office workers. The reward was 1 skill point, and the penalty for non-compliance was 1 month pay cut. The next day, the hero shows this application to his colleague, and he says that he received this application by email. His colleague replies that none of the employees have commented on this. Has our hero gone mad? The guy saw that yesterday's letter that the company sent him disappeared and tells his colleague that he will be confused. A colleague says that our hero, looked at himself because he came up with something that is not even included in the plans of the company, an application that will make them even more servants. The hero says that he doesn't know what to think, because this application has nothing to do with the company, and maybe it's a bad joke, but yesterday when he changed the resistance it looked very real, and if it's true it would be very strange. The hero remembers his new task and says that if this application cuts his salary, it will be very bad, and our hero cannot allow this to happen. The guy thinks what to do with this mission, because doing it right in the company building will be unacceptable, and if he is caught, it can ruin his life. The hero assumes that he has to break the rules of the office in order to complete this task, but unfortunately he does not have such a site that would inform him about everyone. Plus suddenly do this. It would be very strange. After a short conversation with his colleagues, the hero thinks that relationships with people from one department can be dangerous, and it is better to focus on people in other teams. The hero notices a girl who has entered the room to our hero along with a guy. The hero says that he is jealous of his colleague because he has much better characteristics, and also he and our hero got a job in the company at the same time. But Byonju did not waste time in vain, and he has such a beauty as Sujina. The guy thinks about the fact that the Benju says that he and Gina now have a happy family life, and because of good mental health, they do not have quarrels. The hero asks you why he even watches this couple and why he thinks about how to win over a busy girl. The guy says you're wrong, but also adds that he doesn't like Bajun, and his stomach is twisting. Suddenly, in an application unknown to him, information about Benju is revealed, namely that this subject has a fear of algae and seafood, but he has no tolerance, but simply an inexplicable fear of seafood. The hero asks if people can have a fear of seafood, and he realizes that this is a chance to mock the Byeonju. The heroes think that since the genie is busy, he needs to choose another girl. And he notices a shy intern named Kim Ji-young. The hero says that this girl was not particularly interested in him because of her poor eyesight. Also, she looks too simple, but so far she is the most suitable option. And also dissatisfaction Hyung-min. The hero says that this time he will choose Jihyun and also reinforces her desire for a perfect love story. The hero says that this is different from the attack on the Byeonju, and a new item has been added to the description. Suddenly, the CEO comes up to our hero from behind and asks if everything is alright with him. And after our hero gets scared, he asks what is wrong with him, because he has been sitting alone from the very beginning. The hero says that he is fine, and he thinks that he should watch Jihyun. He sees how the girl is working hard, and in the toilet the girl is doing herself, asking what is happening to her, and she can no longer bear it, because Hyung-min is not interested in her. Well, she is very hot lately, and it is impossible to concentrate on work. The hero sees that Jihyun's mental health has dropped by 1. He asks is it all because of him, and then it turns out that the girl is now feeling stressed. The guy understands that now is the time to act. The hero comes out in front of the girl, and she immediately imagines doing this with our hero, and suddenly, abruptly embarrassed, they leave. The guy understands that the girl definitely reacts to his presence. We see a notification that when the subject's mental health is at a minimum, the application participant can influence his thoughts. The hero is strengthened by Jihyun's dream of perfect love with Hyung-woo. The guy says that sometimes he watches the HR department, and every time Jihyun looks away shyly, but he has never paid such attention before, but he knows why the girl does it, and he says that the guy should definitely succeed. The girl cheers herself up, saying that she should wake up because no matter how much she wants it, she hardly knows Hyung-woo. Suddenly, the heroes write to her computer and say that it was he, the deputy head, who did the supplies. He asks the girl if she can go to the warehouse now, to which the girl agrees. Hyunwoo says that now he can try Jihyun. Hyunwoo says that if it weren't for the glasses, the girl would look great. He greets Jihyun asking if she has ever been here, but the girl replies that she is here for the first time, and therefore it was difficult for her to find her way. The heroes offer the girl to go inside, and he says that because of the case, he has not come here for a long time. He says that this time only 2 boxes were given out for the personnel department, and starting to lower them from above, he leans on Jihyun. The hero asks himself if everything will be alright, and if he will not succeed. Apologizes to the girl. They say it's very crowded in here, but she says that everything is in order, but in fact, she is very embarrassed. He asks Jihyun how she feels, because the girl blushed all over, after which they kiss, and the heroes are glad that it all happened. He thinks about how he would normally make a fuss about this, but Jihyun kisses him back. The guy says that if it comes so easily to him, then now he no longer has any reason to hesitate, and he will go to the end. The hero begins to touch the girl, to which she says that it's impossible, but the hero changes her skirt from her and asks if he misunderstood her. He asks the girl is it true that she thinks about the same what he is talking about, but the girl does not give a clear answer, and they do it. The hero asks the girl to be quieter, because here they can be heard well in the toilet, and the girl won't scream that she's stuck here. The girl says that our hero is very rude, but because of this she is very pleased. They finish and walk out of the warehouse together. The girl speaks about herself in the third person. They say that she seems to have gone crazy, because doing this in the office, and even during working hours, is very unacceptable, and it will also be very bad if rumors spread about her. Hyung-woo asks the girl if she's okay, which she agrees to. Jihyun asks the deputy if she can take time off from work, because she needs to wash her skirt. The heroes release the girl and say that what happened today should remain only between them, and the girl agrees with this. The hero enters the application and sees that 1 skill point has been credited to him, and he is glad that his salary will not be reduced. The hero asks where they can spend these points and understands that it is quite difficult, and also thinks that he would like to worry only about such things. We see how Benju goes home and says that something is wrong with him lately, because more and more often the image of a mollusk appears in his head. He comes home and healthy with his wife, and they say that because of the overtime he was late. Seo Gina says that she will now set the table, and that the Benju should wait a bit. Suddenly the guy hugs the girl from behind and kisses her. He is going to do it with the girl, but the girl asks if they can have dinner first. Bonjoy does not hear the girl and continues to do this to her, but as soon as he changes her pants, he imagines the image of a clam in his head and falls in fear. We see how this couple is sitting at the dining table in the office, and our hero is watching this couple asking what Benju is doing there and also what happened to him after the corporate party. The hero sees that the fear of seafood has suddenly caused the dysfunction of this, and suddenly he realizes that it reminded him of shellfish. The hero says that the effectiveness of this system is quite frightening, because as soon as he changed something, a woman who did not even talk to him immediately did it for him, and even their most beloved Benju lost heart. Hying Woo says that Byung-ju definitely deserved it, because he always looked down on all the other employees. The hero decided to gloat even more by increasing the dysfunction of this in Byung-ju. After all, he says that you need to pay something before you can be a beautiful wife, isn't it Byung-ju? But our hero was refused to strengthen the administration of the application, because with the current level of administrator rights, he cannot control more than one emotion at the same time. The guy says that then instead of a phobia of seafood, he increases his dysfunction, because it is caused by a deterioration in his psychological state, and anxiety appears for a while, and why it disappears. But what will happen if it does not coincide, but only grows? The hero says that because of anxiety, the guy's attraction to this is deteriorating, which consequently leads to anxiety, and this closes the cycle, and also if the anxiety only grows and grows, then the mental health of the budget simply will not withstand, and if so, then it will finally go down. When our hero is walking back to his workplace, one of the workers asks him to stop, and Hying Woo is invited to a staff meeting. The hero believes that such priests are useless, and the workers simply have nothing to do. Suddenly, some girl comes into the hall and says that since everyone is ready, it's time to start the third meeting of the PR team. The guy is surprised by the arrival of the girl and asks if she ever worked for them. The girl continues to speak, announcing that this time she will be the head of the meeting, the deputy team of the PR department in Seoul. The hero says that because of the appearance of the girl, she was quite popular among the guys, but even such as she had a flaw, her face was quite rough like a man's, and she was told that she would be a better girl if she covered her face with a bag, but now the girl looks completely other. The hero asks, can a person change so much? Although he understands that it is not for nothing that a plastic surgeon is equated with God. The hero opens the application and looks at the statistics of the girl, where they see +3 to the charm, and understands what happens other employees will not understand, that she has plastic. The girl turns to our hero and says that the Hyangwoo team is in charge of the PR project in the third quarter, and the responsibility of the promotional activities lies with him. The hero asks if the development of advertising promotion is the responsibility of PR, to which the girl replies that in the previous year, because their team was still responsible for the development of the project, wasn't it? Already the duty of the PR team. The girl says that she will report the Hyangwoo's opinion to Manager A after she finishes the meeting. The guy says that this girl is very annoying because the heroes tried to somehow remove the amount of work from them with lies. It shows us how the heroes are indignant in front of their colleague, asking why he should do this, to which his colleague replies that they did this last year, and anyway, the deputy should just accept it. Hyangwoo asks why his colleagues didn't support him during the meeting, and is it because there were no employees? Because they are not even subcontractors. So why do they have to do PR work? A colleague tells the characters to stop talking about it, because the CEO already called him earlier, and the department said they would do the job, so Hyangwoo is in charge of the project. The heroes are very angry, and then they show us how he does it with Jihyun right on the stairwell of the office. The girl says that of course she was pleased, but it was quite rude, and also he came up too suddenly. Hyangwoo at this moment thinks about In-Sol, and about what a bad girl she is because of her. Our hero's weekend will definitely not pass normally. The guy thinks that if nothing is done, then this girl will make her move, but the hero is not allowed to think out, and Ji-hyun turns to our hero, asking if something happened to him because he frowns so much. The hero replies that he just had one thing to do. The girl asks the hero if he has time now, to which he replies that since yesterday he has been on overtime. And what happened? The girl replies that today the guy seems to have had a very difficult time, and therefore it would be nice to relax a little. We see that our hero is sitting in a hotel and thinking about what he would go to work today, and did not know that everything would be like this. He draws attention to the bathroom where Ji Hyung-ah is now washing after leaving the bath and asking if our hero is bored. She says that the guy can also take a shower, but without ceremony, he throws the girl on the bed. Ji Hyung says that she understands everything, but the deputy must also go to the shower. But the hero says that he still has to work on the night shift, and the girl herself asked him, and therefore he can no longer endure. He takes off the glasses from the girl and says that without them she looks much better, and then they do it. We see our hero working the night shift and saying that when he did it everything was fine, and after what happened he tries to work at night. He receives a notification on his phone in which he receives a new task. It lies in the fact that with the help of psychological messages, he must deal with this employee, whose charm points are higher than 7. The deadline for completing this task is 1 month from the beginning of its receipt, and if successful, our hero will receive 3 points in case of failure to reduce wages by 3 months. The heroes are compensated in such a development of events because 3 months without a salary is a lot, but then he realizes that he needs to calm down because this is just a system and why it should somehow influence his work and life. Hyung Woo asks who in the company can have a charm higher than 7th level because Jihyun had about 5, but who has a 7? He thinks it might be Seo Jin. But then he remembers In-sol and says he seems to have an idea. We see how In-sol goes along the corridor of the company, and men are constantly discussing it. She goes to her boss's office and says that she doesn't understand a bit, but her boss explains to her that about the project, her department has to do it on her own. The girl says that she thought that they would do the same as last year, but the director says that she understands what the girl is driving at, but the workers say that they simply cannot allocate this work at the right time because they already have something to do. The director asks correctly or that the In-sol department is responsible for advertising, and the girl is responsible for the entire department. The girl says that the director himself told her about it, but the director replies that he said to ask for help and not to lay all the work on others, and didn't the girl say that she could handle this project herself, and also that this is the final decision, and now he asks the girl to go out. The girl in her head asks if the director has any idea what she has done for him over the past year, and now he really decided to just leave her like that. She passes by our hero, and the guy smiles maliciously. We see Jihyun doing this to our hero, and she asks what is wrong with In-sol. And what did she do? The hero replies that he asked the girl about In-sol. This is how people spread rumors behind her back, and since the girl works in the personnel department, then Hyung Woo guessed she might be up to something. Girl says people talked a lot about her, and she has a good relationship with directors, but on the other hand, other departments have returned all the work she was supposed to do, and she's in trouble now anyway. The hero thinks that this girl now knows her place better, because all the people turned away from her alone and abandoned her. He thinks that he bets on the fact that she tried to do this with the directors to achieve her own goals, but now it does not work very well, because with the help of the application he worked with the directors and men will find out who this girl really is. The hero says that for this he will not need much time and let the girl play while she can. And at that time he will enslave the application with Gina. Jihyun asks our hero what he thinks about, and says that he simply does he have other thoughts about something or about someone other than the guy replies that this is not at all the case, and he was thinking about work issues. The girl stops doing this and just lies down on the bed and says that it doesn't matter anymore. Sen Woo blames himself for this, saying that he thought too much about the control system and tries to apologize to the girl. The guy thinks that this girl is one of a kind, and with Jin it's certainly good, but for now he better focus on the girl in front of him. Then they do it. We see Byungju looking at the causes of this dysfunction. At that moment, everything from Jin comes into his room, and Byungju asks if they can go to bed, but the girl replies that she thought that they could do it. Seo Jun thinks about how they did it almost every night, but a few days ago it stopped. Seo Jun thinks that Byungju might just be tired of her, but she refuses the idea. They say that she is sure that Byungjin loves her, because only a few days ago he wanted this. She thinks about what has come, and her time to show her boyfriend, asks Gina what got into her, to which the girl replies that the guy was always the one who started, and now it's her turn to do it now for him. The guy says that his girlfriend is trying very hard, and so he should try again. Benju tells his girlfriend that she looks much prettier today, and also that he won't let her sleep tonight. The guy thinks about how he feels that today he will definitely succeed. He looks at the girl and says he doesn't have anxiety or anything like that when he looks down. He worries that it might not work out, but then he tells himself to calm down, because he has to try before he gives up. But suddenly he realizes that he can't do it. Seo Jun asks her boyfriend if he is really fine, and she notices that the guy is sweating all over. Benju says that everything is normal, and he just got nervous, and asks the girl to continue where they left off, but unfortunately the movement below has already ended. He says he seems to be more tired than he thought. He asks his girlfriend to forget about it. They say that they also have such hard days, and he will turn off the light, after which they go to bed. The guy asks himself what is happening to him. We are told that after such actions from the Byonju, the psychological resistance from the genie also fell, and the hero thinks that he was able to do two actions at the same time. And it was not in vain that he added this dysfunction to him. The hero says that everything is fine, and everything is going according to plan, and that the genie will be his next victim. We see how while the Benju is sleeping, the girl does this to herself in the toilet. She thinks about how she did it again and it's very wrong. Already at work with Gina, she asks herself what is happening to her, because she cannot concentrate and feels strange, because last night she did it again to herself and Benju for more than a week, and did not do it with her. She says that she tried several times since then, but they couldn't finish, and she asks why Benju doesn't want it so much, and is he really tired of her? The hero goes to the roof and says that the genie is now mentally unstable, and her attraction to this is now at its maximum, but now her husband is not good enough, and she needs to forget about him and survive our hero. The hero wants to change the target from Benju to Hyungwa, but the system does not allow him to do this, because he needs more leadership points, because now he can only affect one target. He understands that there is no limit on the impact on men, but on girls, there is only one limit. Hyung-woo says that he has a list of those he can influence, and to increase the list, it seems he needs more leadership points. He gets angry and says that he thought it would be difficult. The hero says that he wanted to spend the points on something else, but apparently he will have to do it differently, because this is his chance with Gina, and he definitely should not be let go. The hero adds Jinwoo to the list of available targets, and Gina wish has been changed from Benju to Hyungwoo. Heroes dignify the attraction of this from Sujin, and says that he only has to wait a bit, and the girl will definitely be his. We see Junwoo who is not well at all, and she says that she wants to do it right here, and she will just take her boyfriend, and they will do it, but she can't do it, because she feels that Benju is avoiding her. She notices the Hyungwoo and thinks that he is quite thinner than her boyfriend, and his arms are much more muscular. She thinks about how she would be interested in what it would be like with him. The hero again goes to the warehouse, and there he meets with the Juna. He tells the girl that there are some papers for accounting in the warehouse, and he was told to give them personally. The hero thinks that everything is going great, and Seo Juna reacts like Jai Hyung. The hero says that he sent a message to the girl as soon as he saw her reaction to him, and now the girl will definitely be his. The guy does the same trick that from Son starts getting boxes and clinging to the girl. Suddenly, the girl says that she is not very well, and she will return later. Doing it again with Jihyun asking what could have gone wrong since Juna herself wanted this and her status even changed to our hero. But maybe loving Byungju could be a problem. Jae Hyung asks our hero to slow down a bit, and he apologizes asking if he hurt the girl, but she says no, so he should continue. The hero thinks that it's just to notice a little more time than with Jihyun, but this does not cancel the reaction of Gina, and he will try again. I hope that it will work for the second time, and very soon he will do this not only with Jihyun, but also with Jinwoo. We see how the genie is standing in the toilet, and says that, thank God, she managed to escape. Otherwise he would have noticed that something was happening. And if he had noticed it, they would have done it right in the back room. The girl realizes that now she was doing this to herself imagining Hyungwoo. She asks herself what is she doing because it's the first time they've met and she can't even think about it. The hero says that from that moment in the warehouse, he did not have the opportunity to see Juna, and also this girl will not come if he calls her to the warehouse again. And also she is always with a Benju, and he cannot get close to the Kenwa. Colleague comes up and asks what is wrong. Our hero may be worried about something. The guy replies that everything is the same with him and asks his colleague the same question, saying that he saw that he had fun on the weekend. The colleague replies that they had a glitch in the system because of which it collapsed, and they certainly would have easily fixed it, but they also had tax matters to deal with. Colleague says they are being rushed because of the quarterly report, as if they have nothing else to do. The heroes are thinking that Byungju is also in the tax office, which means that he is at work late today. And this is the perfect moment to catch with Junoo. We see how the girl enters the elevator where there are a lot of people. And she says that it was necessary to wait for the next elevator. She understands that something will turn out to be poking at her, and she tries to calm herself by saying that since there are a lot of people here, it could be someone's bag. But after she touches it with this hand, she understands that this is still not a bag, but something another, and she asks who can do such things. When she dodged, she saw our hero, and she says that she did not think that something like this could happen again after the warehouse. And she asks what she should do. He grabs a girl and she thinks that she needs to leave, but she cannot remove our hero's hand while he goes down. The girl says that our hero is crazy, because how can he do such a thing in a crowd of people? And what will happen if they are seen, and if Byungju finds out about this? The girl hopes that the elevator will arrive soon, but he has not even passed even half yet. And since Junoo thinks that if he continues like this, something irreparable will happen. Because now her body is very sensitive. They are almost engaged in this elevator, and after the elevator opens on the first floor, and the girl unfortunately does not have time to escape, and after the hero leads the girl to the warehouse where they do it, the hero tells the girl that it was too nice for just the first round. He asks the girl why she is so surprised because it is difficult only for the first time, and since they have already done this, the girl can no longer pretend that she does not like it. Junoo screams that she is not faking. But the hero does not hear her, and they do it again. The heroes say that what he is doing now is incredible, because quite recently they just awkwardly greeted each other in the corridor. But now he does whatever he wants with this girl. He asks the girl why she shouldn't be more honest, because the heroes know that the girls like it all. Seo Jun and yelling Benju this is the only guy she likes. But our hero says to forget about him because he will no longer be. He receives a notification on his phone about congratulations on completing the first task. The application tells him that our hero has received 3 points, and now he is promoted to a lower level manager. Also, new privileges are available to him. Namely, he can manage 2 parameters of the subject. A satisfaction parameter for female colleagues has been added, and also added a new clause in the employment contract. The hero says that the reward is quite good for himself, and he looks at what satisfaction means. He sees that if the girl is satisfied with this, then the indicator increases by 1, and when the satisfaction reaches 10 points, the hero will be able to sign an employment contract with her. The guy looks at Gina's performance and see that her satisfaction is at 0. He decides that they will enjoy it all night, and decides to spend all his stamina points. Suddenly, just before the end, when the girl has almost received satisfaction, the hero stops and says that since the girl insists so much, he can stop, but he wants to conclude with the girl in a pair. That whoever finishes first will lose. He explains the rules of the bet, and the girl says that it's not fair enough, but unfortunately she has no choice. The guy asks the girl to start and they do it. After the end, the guy says that it seems he won and the girl finished first of him. They continue to do it and Hyung Woo says that it's much more pleasant when Junoo does not deny the pleasure, and the characters ask the girl to be honest with him. The girl says that she gives up and says that she likes it, and the hero records it on camera. Hero says that today was a lot of fun, and that he and Junoo will see each other tomorrow. Hyung thinks that since a day has passed but nothing happened, he is safe, but he also notices that this application is strange, because he was promised a reward for satisfaction. But then she has something more interesting, namely an employment contract. He reads this employment contract in which there are a lot of clauses on the manipulation of actions, and suddenly, In-Sol enters the elevator where Hyung Woo was standing, and, ignoring our hero, starts typing something on the phone. Jeon Woo asks himself what he can do with this girl now because she is very surly. But her body is good enough. The hero sees that the girl is angry, but she does not do this at our hero, but simply checks the phone. And it seems to the guy that either something is not going according to plan, or his manipulation works for In-Sol. The hero looks at the psychological characteristics and sees that the girl's mental health is only 4 out of 10. The heroes think that In-Sol is actually an outcast in our company, even though she looks normal. Suddenly, the elevator door opens and June enters it, and, seeing our hero, they are very embarrassed and freeze in place. In-Sol asks the girl if she will come in, after which Seo Junoo apologizes and runs into the elevator. Hyun Woo thinks about how even though they are not alone in the elevator, he is surprised that Seo Junoo mustered up the courage to enter the elevator. But the hero also suggests that this may be the power of the application, but then Salt is attracted to Jin and Salt in completely different ways. Suddenly, the guy remembers that he had one more skill point left, and he wanted to spend it on endurance, but the improvement was too painful, so his finger slipped, and he could only 2 points on the track, and the heroes decide to spend 1 point on leadership over the insole. The hero thinks that he will tame this girl like he did with Genie, but before that he needs an employment contract, and for this he needs to increase satisfaction to the maximum, and for this job, there is no one better than Jian. He goes to the hotel where he is already met by Jai Young, and the hero notices that this girl is very beautiful. She takes our hero by the hand and asks him to pass, saying that today the guy can leave everything to her. Hyan Woo tells Jian that she looks different today, and he asks where the girl's glasses are. Jian replies that she thought that our hero likes the girl better without them, so she put on contact lenses, and our hero says that the girl looks great today. The guy thinks that his goal today was to conclude an employment contract, but the girl really wants to satisfy him, so he decides to have some fun. Jian does this to our hero, and a little later they do it. The heroes see that he finally opened the employment contract in the app, and thanks to Jian, he leaves saying that he will use it wisely. After the meeting, the hero says that the meeting ended earlier than he thought, and it would be better for him to get acquainted in advance. Suddenly he hears a quarrel between his colleagues, and they're partying, and he sees that the girl in this partying acted as insole. The heroes think that this is a very unlucky day, because the insole was thrown right in front of him, and after he went out into the street, the hero thinks that he should follow the insole. The hero asks, is the girl going back to work after being dumped? And is she really that much of a workaholic? Hyung Won thinks that this is possible because of the psychological features that he affected last time, and also he has added a new feature, namely sadness due to a breakup. He sees that the girl's mental health has dropped by 1 more point, and now it is equal to 3. Suddenly, the insole turns around and asks our hero why he is chasing her, but the hero excuses himself by saying that there is only one coffee house in this quarter, and not only the girl had a meeting, where he should ask the girl's permission where he can go and where he can't. She is trying to say something, but in the end, after unsuccessful attempts to say that our hero would simply not come running to her and keep a social distance, the hero says that there is already a social distance between them, so at the same time, they are also wearing masks. After these words, the girl turns around and leaves. The heroes think about what he hears, how this girl mentally breaks down, and these actions are very unlike her. Suddenly he sees the hero with a genie who greets our hero. We are shown the usual labor mornings in this office, and suddenly the men working there pay attention to June in an interesting outfit. She thinks about how she feels humiliated, and she needs to sit down quickly. She thinks that she wants to get to her place as quickly as possible, but this dress is very short and constantly rises, which makes it very difficult for her to walk. She almost reached her place, but suddenly one of her colleagues calls her for a few words, and from June, approaching him, asks what he wanted. The man says that he knows that they do not have a strict dress code, but the girl should not go too far with her uniform, and since this is work, you can't wear such things here. Seo June thinks about this man scolding her, but suddenly, and if you like this video, then put like and subscribe to my channel. Bye everyone.